Hello students, we are going to study about pollination. Pollination, it is one of the step in the fertilization process. You know that in angiospermic plants or seed bearing plants, the male and female gametes are non-motile. So that's why this angiospermic plant required an agency to transfer the pollen grains from one plant to another plants. This transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of plant. Let us see now the definition of this pollination. Pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma, that is known as a pollination. Now here the pollination, there are two types of the pollination, the self-pollination and the cross-pollination. Now under this self-pollination, so what is the definition of this self-pollination? Self-pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flower, that is known as a self-pollination. In this self-pollination, the flower must be a bisexual, and after the maturity of the anther, the pollen grains which are liberated or dehiscence of this anther, after the dehiscence of the anther, the pollen grains are liberated and which transfer from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, that is known as a self-pollination. And those progeny will be produced from this self-pollination which are genetically similar. There is no variation at all. There is no genetic makeup which are genetically similar. So now this self-pollination again divided into the two types, autogamy, auto means self, and gametes, autogamy and diatonogamy. Now in this autogamy, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flower, that is known as autogamy. And the example, mostly this condition you can see in this pea plant. Now this autogamy is there, that is also known as a self-pollination. Then another type of this self-pollination, now it is known as a diatonogamy. In this diatonogamy, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower which is located on the same plant, that is known as a diatonogamy. And now the example is a cucurbita. This diatonogamy which is similar to cross-pollination, but those progeny will be produced from this diatonogamy which are genetically similar. They are genetically similar, that's why it is included in this self-pollination. And now it is the example, this type of the condition mostly occur in the example cucurbita. Second type of this pollination, it is known as a cross-pollination. Cross-pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower which belongs to the same species or different varieties or different species of plant, that is known as a cross-pollination. Under this cross-pollination, the two types which are there. Now first it is known as a xenogamy. In this xenogamy, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower belongs to the same species. So now this papaya, in this papaya two different plants which are there, one is a male plant and the female plant. In that condition, this cross-pollination takes place there. So now here after this xenogamy, now the hybridization is there. This is an artificial cross-pollination. In this cross-pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of different flower of different species. Now the two species of the cotton, mostly this fertilization, hybridization which occurred. So this is about this general, about the types of the pollination, self-pollination and the cross-pollination. You know that in these angiospermic plants, now the gametes which are non-motiles, and for carrying these gametes from one flower to another flowers with the help of agencies. And so that the agents for the pollination, there are two agents for the pollination, abiotic agents and the biotic agents. Abiotic agents include the wind and the water, and biotic agents includes the insects, birds, bats, etc., snail, etc., which are included here. So now here in this abiotic agent, that is a non-living agents, and biotic agents which are the living things. Now this wind and this water. Now the pollination takes place by wind, that is known as a anemophily. This type of the pollination, it is known as this anemophily, and which takes place through the wind. So that's why it is known as a anemophily. Now in this anemophily, those plants having such a type of this pollination, the pollination takes place by wind, which are known as a anemophilous plant. And that anemophilous plant bears such a type of the flower which are known as anemophilous flowers. And these flowers show the adaptation, because in this type of the examples only the pollination takes place by wind. The examples are now the grass, wheat, oats, palms. It means that all monocotyledonous plants which are included there. So now here, what are the adaptive characteristic feature which is present in a anemophilous flower? The characteristic features, now first, the flowers are very small. They are not inconspicuous, and they are not the conspicuous. They are inconspicuous. They are colorless and without nectar. Nectar which is absent there. Flower are small, and the color of the tapers, mostly the perianth which is present there, and the color of the tapers mostly green in color also, or in the grey in color. So now the pollen grains are light. They are very light in weight, because they carried by wind from one flower to another flower. And now here this is a dry, lightweight, and this they are dry. Stigma is feathery. Now in this stigma, you know that ovary, style, and this stigma. Now the style which is long and elongated, at the tip of which the feathery stigma which is present for capturing the pollen grains. Now the stamens are exerted. In this flower, now the stamens comes out from the flowers, which are, that's why which are known as exerted. म्हणजे तुम्हाला या फ्लावर्स मध्ये स्टेमन्स त्याचे बाहेर आलेले असेल, पेटल्सच्या बाहेर आलेले असेल, आणि इव्हन दो त्याचा जो स्टिग्मा आहे तो पण बाहेर आलेला असतो. आणि स्टेमन्स अँड स्टिग्माज आर एक्सपोज टू एअर, दोन्ही पण एअर मध्ये एक्सपोज झालेले असतो. नाव हिअर दिस स्टेमन, दिस टाइप ऑफ द स्टेमन आर एक्झर्टेड. नाव दिस versatile anther. Versatile anther, this is also the one of the adaptive characteristic feature. Versatile anther means, now this is the filament of the stamen. Now this filament, this is the anther, and this anther loosely attaches to the filament. This is a filament, and this is an anther. This anther loosely attaches to the filament, and which freely hang in the atmosphere, which freely hang in the air also. So now here, this why, that's why the stamens and stigmas are exposed to air, and stamen having the versatile anthers. So these are the adaptive characteristic feature found in the anemophilous flower. So forget about this. Now we are going to study about hydrophily under the subtopic pollination. Hydrophily means the pollination takes place through the agency of water, that is known as a hydrophily. Now the water pollinated plant show the adaptive characteristic feature, and those plants having such a type of this pollination, that is known as a hydrophilous plant. Now in this hydrophilous plant, the floral adaptation of the hydrophilous plants are, the flowers are very smaller, unisexual, and inconspicuous. There is a lacking of nectar, fragrance also, and they are the unisexual and very smaller. Now the pollen grains, which are also the covered by the mucilage or the wax. So now here in this hydrophilous plant, then the gravity of these pollen grains, the specific gravity of pollen grains, which is similar to the water also, and which is controlled. Why? Because of the presence of starch grains inside the cell of the pollen grain, and pollen grain freely float below the water surface as well as on the water surface due to its specific gravity. So now this hydrophily, which are again there are two types of this in the hydrophytic plants. Now the hypohydrophily and epihydrophily. Hypo means the below and epi means the on. The pollination takes place below the water surface, that is known as a hypohydrophily, and pollination takes place on the water surface, that is known as a epihydrophily. Now in this hypohydrophily pilus plant, now the example in this Zostera, what are the adaptive characteristic features which are present in that type of the flowers? Needle-like pollen grains which is a long and elongated, needle-like and lack the exine, only the intine is there, and outer layer of this which is absent there. Bear some specific gravity which is similar to the water gravity, and that's why which can float below the water surface. Then female flowers coiled and long pedicel. So now here this pollination takes place below the water surface. Now in the female plant, now it is a submerged female plant which is a submerged plant. And at the maturity of the male plants, at the maturity of the anther, the pollen grains which are floating below the water surface. And when these pollen grains comes in contact with the stigma, they coil around that and the germination takes place. So now this is about this hypohydrophily, and example is a Zostera. Second type of the hydrophily, it is known as epihydrophily, means the pollination takes place through the agency of water on the water surface, takes place on the water surface, that is known as epihydrophily. In this epihydrophily, now the example is a Vallisneria. In the Vallisneria, two types of the plants are there, male plants and the female plants. Now here this male plants, it is a submerged plant also, and the flowers has a long and elongated pedicel. Now you can see here the female flower, and it has a coiled stalk of the female flower. Stalk means the pedicel of the flower, and it is a coil. And at the maturity, now it becomes uncoiled and which float on this water surface. And now here pollen grains after the maturity of the male flowers detach from the male plant and which floats on the water surface. And when say these pollen grains which are deposited on the stigma of this flower, and then the pollination takes place there. So now this is about this epihydrophily, and example is a Vallisneria. So this is about this epihydrophily and this hypohydrophily. In this epihydrophily, I already told about this, male and female flowers are submerged there. Dioecious plant, the two plants are there, male plant and the female plant. Male flower floats on the water surface. After the maturity of the male flower, after the maturity of the anther also, male flowers detach from the plant and which floats on the water surface. Female plants which are submerged plants. But now the pedicel of the flower which is very long and elongated, it becomes uncoiling. During this maturation it becomes uncoiling, and now it becomes a more long and elongated and which float on the water surface, this flower. When the pollen grains which come in contact with the stigma, and then the pollination is achieved. So this is known as a epihydrophily, and which found in the example Vallisneria. So this is about this hydrophily. So now here this second type of this pollination takes place by birds, now that is known as ornithophily, and the birds pollinating plants which are known as ornithophilous plants. Now the flower of that plants now produce such a type of the adaptive characteristic feature which favor only this pollination. Now here the flowers are very large and showy. Flowers, the petals are very large and flowers are very large, and it becomes more conspicuous also and showy. And they secrete a profuse and dilute nectar. They secrete a nectar in a large abundance, and now here the dilute nectar also present there at the base of this ovary, and here the pollen grains are sticky and spiny, just like the entomophilus. Now the pollen grains are large, and they are large in amount, they are produced there, and they are sticky and they spiny. Flowers are without spagmus because the birds have a bad sense of smell. That's why the flowers without fragment. There is no smell at all. So these are the main adaptive characteristics of this. Mostly the birds, now the pollination takes place by the birds. Which types of the birds which are responsible for that? You know, the sunbirds and the hummingbirds. The birds are very smaller in size, and they are having a long elongated beak also. The beak now, that beak reach up to the nectary glands, and they drink the nectar, the sugary or the dilute nectar from that. So now here these flowers, the petals are very large also. They can easily sit on the flower and they absorb, then they drink the nectar. Now here also the flowers without fragrance. There is no smell at all. And the examples are the bombax, butea and the bottle brush. Butea means the पळसाचं झाड, आणि बॉटल ब्रश जे की बरेचदा तुम्हाला रोड साईड प्लांट्समध्ये मोस्टली अशा प्रकारचे प्लांट्स दिसते की त्याचे जे फ्लावर्स इन्फ्लोएसन्स आहे ते बॉटल ब्रश सारखं असतात. सो या प्लांट्समध्ये अशा टाईपचं तुम्हाला ॲडॅप्टिव्ह कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक दिसू शकतं. सो नाव हिअर थर्ड टाइप of this pollination takes place by bat, that is known as a chiropterophily. And the adaptation, now those plants have such a type of this adaptation which are known as a chiropterophilous plants, and they are in that flowers they are having such a type of the adaptive characteristic feature. Now here the flowers are dull, colored with a strong fragrance, just like a rotten egg. इतका घाणेरडा वास त्या फ्लावर्सला असतो. अँड द फ्लावर्स विथ अ डल कलर, म्हणजे पर्पल कलरचे असतात किंवा डार्क रेड कलरचे, ब्लॅकिश रेड कलरचे अशा टाईपचे फ्लावर्स असतात. अँड दे सिक्रेट अबंडंट नेक्टर खूप जास्त प्रमाणामध्ये प्रोड्यूस करणारे प्लांट्स आहेत. अँड द फ्लावर्स प्रोड्यूस लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ एडिबल pollen grains because of the stamens which are very thick, very large also, and they produce the pollen grains in abundant number, and the pollen grains which are more edible also. And now here the flower, the petals of the flowers are so sturdy. That's why the bat hold on these petals of the flower easily due to the sturdiness of this flower. Now the flower produces a large amount of edible pollen grains also. And examples of Anthocephalus and Kigelia. Anthocephalus हे plants, जरी याचं बॉटनिकल नेम हे असेल तर कदंब जी ट्री आहे ते त्याचं मराठीत कदंब वृक्ष हे तुम्ही नाव ऐकलेलं असेल. तर कदंब वृक्षाचे जे फ्लावर्स आहे तुम्हाला अगदी लार्जर साईजमध्ये दिसतील, आणि त्याचप्रमाणे त्याच्यामध्ये हे सगळे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक features and which favor the pollination takes place by only this bat, because the flowers are nocturnal also, because of the flower bloom at night. जे फ्लावर सुद्धा ब्लूम होतात तेही नाईटला होतात, अँड फ्लावर्स नॉक्टर्नल आहे याच्यातले. So this is also one of the adaptive characteristic feature which is found in this type of the flowers. So this is about these biotic agents you have studied. You have studied about the entomophily, ornithophily and chiropterophily.